Tonight from Harrisburg High, ABC 27 Sports and Advanced Hoops presents high school basketball live as the Harrisburg High Cougars host the Steel High Rollers, presented by Arlington Orthopedics. Hi again, everybody. I'm Greg Mace, together with Advanced Hoops Director Charlie Fortney, who has played in this Steel High Harrisburg game a number of times. You know what this great rivalry is like.
It was always the favorite game for me to play in, and I'm sure it's the favorite game for these players to play in. It's probably one of the greatest rivalries in the state, and for me, it'll still always be my favorite.
All right, let's talk about Harrisburg High. They're having a great year. They are at the top of the Mid-Penn Commonwealth Conference right now, tied with Central Dauphin.
Coach Smallwood has these guys playing very well. They hit their stride against McDevitt, winning in a big way against a team that's very good in the McDevitt Crusaders. But they're just functioning on all cylinders, and it's going to be hard for this young roller team to compete with them tonight.
All right, let's talk about this young roller team, because Steel High lost every one of their starters to graduation. They were all seniors. So, Charlie, that is certainly a lot to overcome, and that's what the Rollers have to do.
Well, with a school that fights a single-A enrollment and competes in AAA, there are the low tides at Steel High, but the Steel High faithful is excited because this young bunch is getting experience, a lot of ninth graders, and Coach Albert's putting in some fundamental ingredients, discipline on the court, off the court. We think this is a good year for the Rollers, and it'll pay dividends down the road.
All right, big game coming up. It's Harrisburg, Steel High, Mid-Penn Commonwealth. We're back with the opening tip-off coming up after this.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
All-state freshman Malia Tate DeFreitas tore her ACL in a heated state playoff, and her dreams seemed shattered.
Tried to come back in and it wasn't working out. I thought that my basketball career was over.
Getting an assist from the doctors at Arlington Orthopedic, Malia is ready to attack the hoop this season.
It feels good when I jump and cut and stuff. It feels normal, and the brace really helps me.
To go from tears to a smile, it was just a beautiful thing.
To play at a championship level requires a level of discipline few ever achieve. You prepare, you focus, and make a commitment to excellence. That's Hoffman Ford, #1 in sales and in service. Because the customer is #1. Choose from over 400 vehicles in stock. Plus, we're your Roush Performance dealer. Bigger selection, better deals. Hoffman Ford.
Greg Mace, Charlie Fortney, everyone on their feet here at the Kimner Gymnasium for our national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly shaking, and the rockets laid the left, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
It's a wonderful voice. He also happens to be our clock operator. Isn't that great? Well, here we go. This is one of the great rivalries in this area. Harrisburg, Steel High. There have been many, many classic matchups in this series, Charlie. And let's take a look at our Penn National keys to the game.
Well, Steel High must have their best game. They've given Carlisle a good one this year. They need to have a game like that. Need to slow the game down, step up to the challenge of this rivalry. Harrisburg needs to exploit the size advantage early. Solid defense. Steel High's young, but don't underestimate the young rollers. There is some potential there, and they have made some games very competitive this year, including the first half, the first time around.
And here we go. Steel High in their road blue uniforms. Harrisburg in the white.
One thing that the fans watching need to keep in mind is, although Steel High struggled, although they're very young, Coach Halbert's playing a lot of freshmen, Steel High was leading 19-9 in the first time these two teams matched up, behind Thomas Klee, the seniors, 4 3-pointers, and then he got injured in that game and went out. So hopefully he stays healthy this game and has 2 quarters like that to give the Rollers a chance.
Yeah, they gave him a great run in that first game in the early going. Here's Thomas Klee, and he traveled.
Well, he's excited, this young man. What's nice about Thomas Klee, he understands that he's helping build a young team. He knows that this situation is not necessarily a championship season or anything, but he embraces the role of helping develop the young players, which shows a lot of maturity.
McIntyre missed. Rollers got the rebound.
And that was Max Ward. Max Ward's been a part of the last couple seasons. Top-notch quarterback for the Rollers, college prospect. Definitely brings some grit to this and some experience to this young Rollers team.
Now you'll notice one of the guys missing tonight for Harrisburg High is their outstanding quarterback, one of the Big 33 game, Jalen Fitzpatrick, who is visiting Temple University. And the Owls are taking a good look at him.
I don't blame him for visiting Temple.
Yeah.
Especially you can get him a full ride. Well, there's a lid on the rim early here, but definitely Steel High's coming out and playing feisty, stepping up to the challenge of the rivalry, playing a very stingy 2-3 zone. Smart idea, give him a chance to stay in this game for a while.
Quick dish. Lewis. Lid's still on the basket. Minute and a half gone by.
Well, Coach Albert before the game had just kind words to say about how hard his kids have worked this year. But he compared his team to, just a team that needs to play at a certain pace, because he's forcing freshmen who usually get a chance to apprentice under a senior or junior laden team. He's asking them, kids that would normally be JV or getting just a few minutes here and there, he's asking them to log big minutes against top teams.
Well, Richardson missed. Here's Brandt.
Him bringing the ball back out is a game plan.
Klee.
Well, Steel High's not slowing it down, that's for sure.
Jarrell Patterson's number 3. It's McIntyre the baseline. Kruger's getting a bunch of shots. Nothing's going down. Finally, after 5 attempts, Sean Richardson has the first 2 points of the game.
Well, and Harrisburg's going to play this 1-2-1-1 full court man-to-man. They want to keep the pressure up on these young Rollers and not even give them a chance. Now, this is where Steel High has a chance to get some easy baskets if they take their time. And on that situation there, you need to maybe bring it back out or not rush. But again, this is a young team that's going to make young mistakes. And Coach Albert's comfortable with it. He's ready to live with this at this point, because he knows every down of the game that they play now is going to pay off for down the road.
Brandt comes back. It's Klee. This is Max Ward. Cougars have the rebound. Sheen McIntyre is a junior.
Well, this Anthony Ferguson that just took the shot for Steel High, a 6-foot freshman. Coach Albert's very, very high on his prospects.
Harrisburg's up 4-0. Early going.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Are colored copies really 10 cents?
Yeah, 10 cents.
It's easy. Call Fortney Printing. They punch in the order, copies get made, quickly put in boxes. Fortney Printing delivers on time.
Wow, only 10 cents.
There's Kirk Smallwood, athletic director, great coach, great leader of these kids.
Yes, Coach Smallwood, man, when I was at Steel High, Greg, he was the JV coach at Harrisburg. And you know what's amazing about Coach Smallwood back then is he used to pick me up in the summer, being a Steel High player, to play on his teams up at the Jewish Community Center. So definitely there's a lot of respect and a rivalry, and I saw it when I was playing ball.
McIntyre thought better of his shot, backs it out. Short baseline, doesn't go. Steel High scrapping, they come away with a rebound.
I tell you what, Steel High's only down 4-0, and they could actually be winning this game if they would convert like that on a few of the plays. They missed a lot of shots early on that could have fell.
Need to find their rhythm as a young team. And the Cougars are just smooth all the time. Patterson. Three-pointer.
Patterson for 3.
That's a luxury for Harrisburg. They got Patterson playing the 2 guard there. He's like a point guard at the 2. They got a lot of versatile. Sheen McIntyre, one of the best guards in the area as well. Only a junior.
One bounce, doesn't go.
Oh, there's Anthony Ferguson. Again, a lot of potential, but only a freshman.
Bunch of turnovers. This is good racehorse basketball, and you're right, Steel High, they convert a couple of these shots and have to sort of calm down. You can see that youth.
And the height factor's not there. You got number 25 here, Anthony Wright, who's also a freshman at 6'3" with their height, but not a lot of meat on the bones yet, naturally being a freshman. But again, another player that Coach Albert's very excited about, and it's getting a lot of meaningful minutes. I mean, how many freshmen get a chance to play in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth and get as much minutes as they want without being taken out on a regular basis?
Well, not many at all.
Well, and it's like we talked about before the game, let's check this replay out.
Team first. At the line is 25.
Walt Chavis, Tremaine Tristan Crawford, Tremaine Hawthorne, these guys, when they were freshmen, they had supporting casts around them to help incubate their game. And it's one of the points Coach Alberts was making is that there's not those senior-laden, college-bound athletes to apprentice under for these younger players. So they're out on an island. They're being made to be responsible in a way, in a leadership role that most freshmen aren't, which is going to end up paying off.
McIntyre again for 3 more. He's got 5 of the early 10. Quick steal. 2 more. Stanley Lumpkin Jr. Well, they do not want to get Steel High back in this game at all, and good pressure. And keep in mind, Harrisburg is trying to peak, obviously, as we head toward the Mid-Penn and the district playoffs as well. And as Kirk Smallwood told us before the game, been very happy with the way his team has been playing. Beat McDevitt the other night, had a loss to Chambersburg, but you see how quick Harrisburg is.
Well, yeah, and that Market Street rivalry, I mean, geez, that's always going to be a big one, McDevitt and Harrisburg, and they definitely made a statement in that game.
Foul as Ward came down, and Hack McIntyre coming back the other way.
Yeah, because
Max Ward, his first, team's first.
Again, a couple of these shots fall, and again, it's only a 10-point game. We're almost through a quarter here. Definitely Steel High playing stingy in the first half. Only giving up 12 points in almost a quarter. That's not bad. They just need to put the ball in the hoop.
Cougars control. A little bit sloppy down that end.
And Coach Smallwood doesn't like that. You know, Richardson mishandled the ball. He'd rather his guards handling the ball on the perimeter. Harrisburg's one program that likes to keep their big guys where they belong around the basket.
Gomez with a block down court. Richardson.
Oh,
nice save.
Wow, look at that athleticism. His arms were like 20 feet long, it seemed like. Like Inspector Gadget reaching out for that ball. It seemed like no limit on the extension.
Easter.
Ashton Cooksley-Easter gets his first 2 points of the game. Brandt, nice one bounce pass to Ward. Wright stayed with it. Cougars come away. 3-on-1. Nice passing.
Well, and there's Coach Albert wasn't happy with that because it looked like Max got hit on the arm down there, and then now on the other end, there's a foul call. But, you know, I guess what the coaches don't realize that there's severity of fouls here that they differ. But nonetheless, he's trying to do everything he can to get his team back in this game.
What an unselfish play by Harrisburg.
And I think the problem with Anthony Ferguson there is he left his feet. You need to stay on the floor there if you're going to contest a shot like that.
Ashton Cooksley-Easter, a 5'10 sophomore, and there's Coach John Albert. And, of course, he played under your old coach, great Marty Bankovic.
Yeah, well, it was funny. We had a good talk about that before the game. In fact, John, in 1987, when I was a sophomore, oh, geez, now I'm dating myself here. Nice left hand by Britton. Chris Britton's only a sophomore for Harrisburg.
Quick steal, and there's Cooksley-Easter with 2 more, and Steel High wants a timeout. 18-2, Harrisburg up. Late first quarter, you're watching high school basketball live on ABC 27, presented by Arlington Orthopedics.
Having been to Arlington Orthopedics several times over the past roughly 15 years, I have found them to be very caring.
For 15 or 20 years, I've dealt with sciatic nerve pain down both legs. Kind of figured I was going to have that all my life.
Because of crippling arthritis, I no longer could hold on to things.
We went through this disc fusion surgery. It's just changed my whole life.
The pain is virtually gone, and he fully expects me to return to 100%.
Borman & Babb Certified Public Accountants is a full-service accounting, tax, and consulting firm with over 17 years' experience serving the central Pennsylvania region. From taxes to payroll, from corporate accounting to business consulting, let Borman & Babb help you achieve your financial success.
Kirk Smallwood talking it over with his Harrisburg High Cougars, and give this some thought as you're watching the game. Vote for your Hoffman Ford Player of the Game. You can go to advancedhoops.com, click on the live TV icon, and you can fill in your player of the game. We got a long way to go here, but give that some thought. We've been getting some great response. I mean, we're talking about doubling the number of votes we've gotten the last couple games.
Yeah, we had a tremendous amount of votes last game. It even doubled the Cedar Cliff Redland game, which was amazing because the Cedar Cliff Redland game had a lot of momentum and buzz behind it, with over 1,000 people not being able to get in that game.
All right, good pressure by the Cougars in the backcourt to force the 5-second violation. There's Patterson dumping it off. Thompson. Gomez. Getting a lot of offensive rebounds. You can see the height advantage, and that one finally falls for Britton. He's got 4. Rollers run. Brandt kicking it out to Ward. Patterson got the board. Right back. Nice block there by Brandt, huh?
Well, JC is very quick, and we saw it right there, but he probably should have took that himself. Very quick and nice ball movement. Steel High's doing a lot of good things. Like that, getting fouled on a 3-point shot is a great thing. But, I mean, you know, when you're watching this game, like, it's almost even in the amount of opportunity that the teams are getting. I know we don't have an update at this point on shot attempts and all that, but these Steel High players are getting opportunity. Harrisburg's just cashing in on the close ones around the basket.
And you can see the experience of Harrisburg. John Albert does not have that. And you can see kind of the youth, the tentative way that Steel High is taking some of the outside jumpers. They are clearly not as confident because they're not as old as Harrisburg. They don't have the experience.
Yeah, now JC is a junior, quick. There's definitely some tools to work with here, but as the game goes on, we're going to see more and more players for Steel High coming off the bench that are very young.
End of the quarter, they won't get off a shot. Cougars up 20-3, end of one. You're watching high school basketball live on ABC 27.
To play at a championship level requires a level of discipline few ever achieve. You prepare, you focus, and make a commitment to excellence. That's Hoffman Ford, #1 in sales and in service. Because the customer is #1. Choose from over 400 vehicles in stock. Plus, we're your Roush performance dealer. Bigger selection, better deals. Hoffman Ford.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
We make Carbine simple by knocking down all the hurdles we can. We do what you expect, what's logical, or just plain right. For instance, the live market-driven prices we offer up front are the same everywhere you may choose to shop. Our prices are the same on the internet, by phone, or in the showroom. That's how it should be.
Experience car buying made simple at Bobby Ray Hall on the Carlisle Pike, Mechanicsburg.
Nice crowd here. Boy, the Harrisburg side is full, and I'd say the Steel High side is about half full. It's a great crowd here. And, of course, this gymnasium is named after Miss Kimber, who was the longtime principal here at Harrisburg and passed away suddenly. She was a wonderful woman.
Oh,
and
man. She was
great respect for her, and these kids loved her, and it's a wonderful tribute to her.
And I had the privilege to work 4 years in the school district, almost 4 years, and she had a lot of respect. She had a discipline about her. And speaking of the Steel High side, though, being half full, there's a reason for that tonight, Greg. The Steel High faithful are down there supporting Malia Tate DeFreitas, the sophomore, who's got 5 points to score 1,000 as a sophomore already. So they're down there supporting her as they're playing the home game at Steel High.
And I'm going to guess by now she's gotten that. We're going to see that on ABC 27 News tonight. Our Josh Reed is down there, and we're taping that and whatever great thing they'll do with her. But as a sophomore, 10th grade, she's got 1,000 points.
Well, she's got some of the best instincts of any young player I've seen in a long time in this area. Just knows how to see the court and has a tremendous knack for scoring the basketball.
There's Patterson for three.
Wow, that's his second one. He's hot.
23-3, Cougars.
You can see in these younger players, for Steel High, you got number 23, Joseph Wilson, Wright Wilson, a freshman at 6'2". You can just see a hesitancy. They're figuring the game out, but you can definitely see the talent and the ability in some of these kids as well. Like a nice rebound by Joseph right there.
Brandt taking it to the hole, got fouled. I want to get back to the Steel High girls. I can remember, and I'm sure you can, a time when Steel High girls were not even competitive. They had a hard time fielding a team, and now look at what they're doing. They've been a great year again.
Yeah, there was even a lot of talk that they should bump up the triple and quad A's to show that team against some of those other talents in the area. They got size. They got the point guard / wing guard in Malia Tate DeFreitas, who first team All-State last year, 21 a game as a freshman. Now, that hasn't happened in a while for a freshman. So she's certainly resurrected, along with Coach Chisholm and that staff, that program.
Brandt's got three of the four right now. That's just 2 of the 4. Cougars looking for an extra crack, and Wright came away with it.
Well, and look at Wright. Rebound. Now a long rebound, and looked like almost a pick there as well. Just a long athlete. Very, very good potential.
And just a freshman.
Well, You know, Coach Albert might argue he's probably like a sophomore by now for the amount of playing time he's gotten already this year.
Brand couldn't get it to fall. Cougars come away with a rebound.
And the refs are letting these guys play, which is good, because it's good, honest, hard work right now. There's no dirty play. There's no unnecessary pushing. They're just playing.
Jackson. Kirk Smallwood using a lot of his guys at this point. Turn around, and there's the follow.
Asim's helping out inside. He's helping out outside. He's doing a little bit of everything.
He's got 7. Tip is going to fall. Nope.
Max Ward is battling. He's trying to compete, make something happen here. Well, the refs are going to make him earn everything. I think Steel High, young team's going to learn that they're not going to get anything handed to them in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth. It's the only way to grow up.
Richardson. Roderick Simmons settles.
You know, I was amazed, Greg, before the game, Coach Albert. Now, he's been doing this a long time. Like I said earlier, he was an assistant coach under Jack Horner for a number of years, head coach. Some very competitive seasons with Cumberland Valley as the head coach there. He just seemed very comfortable with where he was at right now. His goals this year aren't to win a championship, but to set a mentality that every player in the program believes that if he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. If he says he's going to, you got to be at practice on time, you got to be at practice on time. And it just seems to be his focus this year.
Hasheen McIntyre. You going to count the hoop? It does. So McIntyre's got 9. And the lead at 27-4 now. It was a good opportunity for Harrisburg to get a lot of these guys into the game, because in a very competitive Mid-Penn conference, a lot of times these guys will not see the playing time that they will tonight. You get into the playoffs, you got to sometimes go deep into your bench.
Yeah, because Coach Smallwood, he uses a lot of players. He's not going to just play 5 guys. He's never been that kind of coach. And with the talent regularly, the athleticism, it's a smart way to play, is to train these guys and reward these kids for working hard in practice.
Kyle Cook. McIntyre looking through it away again. Did the Cougars, not McIntyre specifically. A little running one-hander, didn't fall. Boy, they're getting a lot of bounces, but a lot of bounces aren't going in here for the Rollers. But they are, like you said, Shirley, getting a lot of opportunities. You watch the replay again.
Yeah, that might have looked like a charge, okay, but I do agree with the ref there that, Dominique Lewis came in late on that, just slightly late, and kind of did a little hip pointer. Caught Anthony Ferguson with the hip.
His first point.
Doesn't help that there's a lid on the rim for Steel High as well. They're getting good shot opportunities.
Sometimes the rims just see a little bit tight. A traveling violation. Well, coming up Monday night, a rather significant game as the Harrisburg High Cougars take on the Central Dauphin Rams for first place, which should be for first place in Mid-Penn Commonwealth.
Yeah, that's a well-anticipated matchup. The Devin Thomas-led Central Dauphin Rams, although we saw them play very well without him against CD East. Kind of showed that the team, that team is definitely a Devin Thomas-led team, but they're more than Devin Thomas. There's some good ball players on that team. They've been doing it for a while, and those kids have been playing together for a while.
And keep in mind that Jalen Fitzpatrick not in the lineup tonight. He's at Temple University on one of his visits.
I'm sure Steel High's glad that they're missing him tonight, because I've had a chance to coach Jalen. Nice kid. He's very fast.
Of course, he will be the quarterback. One of the quarterbacks for the Big 33 team.
Yes, Coach Rimful.
Big time jam right there.
Yeah,
Sean Richardson.
Jason Richardson is a Harrisburg young man, came back from being in Susquehanna for a couple years, and sure they're glad to have him. He just shows his athleticism there. One of the better athletes that the area has seen.
Well, there's two more for the Cougars. Or two more for the Rollers, I should say. It's Anthony Ferguson. Nice dish. Pretty play. Richardson again. Coming up on 2.5 minutes, and stick around. At halftime, we're going to have our Arlington Orthopedics halftime shootout. Chance for one of our 5 or 6 contestants to win a $50 gift card. We're still waiting for a winner this year. People have come close. It's just an NBA three-pointer.
That's all.
But you see how tough it is to shoot a three-pointer.
You know what makes me feel good about after the shootout, if nobody makes it, we at least still give a $50 Fulton Bank Visa gift card. So at least somebody's walking away with something.
Hey, you got a pizza again tonight? You got a pizza?
Oh, pizza. Yeah, Pizza Hut pizza.
There you go.
They get to share a Pizza Hut pizza. I wish I could get a slice of that, but I'd feel bad giving it to the 5 and then asking for a slice back.
Excuse me, I'm in charge. May I have a piece of pizza? All right, later in the half as well, we have a special treat coming up. We're going to look back at some Steel High history, something you will not want to miss. Charlie.
Are you saying later in the second half? Or later?
No, later in the game. In the second half, we're going to show this little clip.
You better have picked out some good clips here, because I didn't like the shorts that we had to wear.
Well, you'll see him. There's Richardson again with another jam.
Harrisburg and Coach Ross over there has been the big man coach for Harrisburg for a long time. Was a part of helping develop some great big men. Micah Davenport, Lawrence Ham on the state championship teams. But they seem to always have a big guy to work with, and this year it's Sean Richardson.
Traveling call against the Cougars. We'll be talking to both Kirk Smallwood and John Albert coming up at halftime.
I'll tell you what, Coach Smallwood has put everyone but himself in this game. I'll tell you, he's definitely showing a lot of class in this, being up by 34. Let me do my math here, by 27 points right now. I think Steel High can still get back in this game a little if they can just settle down and make some buckets. Definitely a tall order to win a game like this, but they just got to take their time and just relax a little, I think, offensively.
Hasheen McIntyre. He's got 11. He leads everybody with 11. Coming up on the 1 minute to go in the quarter. Nice running one-hander right there by J.C. Brandt.
Well, that looked like a charge from here, but maybe we'll get a chance to look at it again here. But the referee naturally giving Steel High the benefit of the doubt here, especially if they're going to play that hard. And JC's, man, he's been taking it to the hole. Doing a lot. He's been a workhorse for Steel High, handling the ball, playing good defense everywhere on the court.
We got a substitution back in here. Brandt's got 6. Well, this is a fast half.
Well, Trent Chisholm's in the game. It seems like every 4 years there's a Chisholm from Steel High playing for Steel High. So, folks, fasten your seatbelt. We got 4 more years of another Chisholm. It's like any rivalry, Greg. You know, you got the Murrays from Trinity, the Walkers. For Harrisburg, it's the Lewises. It's Steel High, it's the Hills. There's always those family names that keep surfacing.
25 is
Anthony Wright. That's his first 2.
Coach Albert trying to go to his bench more now and get more kids this experience, this opportunity, playing this extended 3-2 zone, trying to make Harrisburg just take a little more time to get these opportunities. Just have to work the ball a little bit around a little more against a 3-2 to try to get around it.
Did it go? End of the half, 36-12, Harrisburg.
At the end of the first half, score Harrisburg 36, Steel High 12.
Well, the first half is definitely lopsided Harrisburg. It's actually 36-12 right now, not 10. And Harrisburg has done what they need to do. They've pressured full court. They've gotten out there and made it tough on Steel High. Steel High, hats off, getting a lot of great opportunities, just not falling, but getting a lot of great experience in this rivalry. I look for Steel High to have a little bit better of a second half. And right now we got Coach Greg Mace with Coach Smallwood before he goes into the locker room.
I thought once you got rolling, and there was a little bit of sloppy play down both ends, you really kind of cranked it up. Talk about the first half.
Absolutely. We just wanted to get some flow going, Greg, and once we did, I thought we were playing well. Then I may have done a little bit more substituting that I would have liked, but we've got to get back into the groove and start playing the way we want to play against everybody.
Clearly, you've got to be able to continue to peak. You got Central Dauphin coming up. So in terms of substitutions, what are you going to be doing here in the second half?
Well, we want to give our frontline guys a good sweat. We really need that in a game situation. And then we have some other younger kids. We have about 6 sophomores on the team that really have deserved a whole lot of playing time at the varsity level. So we'll give them a look also.
All right, Kirk, thanks.
Thank you very much, Greg.
All right, Kirk Smallwood coming up at halftime. Our Arlington Orthopedics shootouts. Cougars up 36-12. Charlie and I'll be back right after this.
To be sure, Faulkner Toyota on Paxton Street across from the Harrisburg Mall invites you to check out our extensive assortment of new and used vehicles. Consider the excitement of driving the RAV4 or the functionality of our top-rated Sienna minivan. Test drive the super fuel-efficient Prius hybrid along with our Camrys, Corollas, Tacoma pickups, as well as a full selection of Scions. You'll find security, design, comfort, and a price that will fit your own lifestyle. Call or visit us at faulknertoyota.net.
What game will you bring? Your B game or C? Tomorrow's performance depends on today's recovery, rebuild, recharge, reclaim your A game, regen, intelligent recovery.
Fortney Construction is on the move, building additions, renovations, and Pella certified for window and door replacements with a quality of work that the customer can count on. Call today. Ask about solar and energy solutions, as well as our solar module installation. You can save money on electric, and the electric company will send you cash for the solar energy your panels generate.
Integrity, reliability, and experience is what Fortney Construction's all about, and it's a great name.
At Lou Panetti, Rogliano, and Hockenberry Family Dentistry, you will receive patient care with a smile, along with comprehensive dental treatment and technologically advanced equipment to meet all your family needs.
I think what you'll find here, if you look around the office, is a very, very comfortable atmosphere.
The quality of care that the doctors give to our patients is absolutely phenomenal.
Our service provides a gentle approach from doctors who care.
All right, welcome back to our live telecast here on ABC 27. We're at halftime. Harrisburg High Cougars up 36-12. Greg Mace, Charlie Fortney, Dr. Michael Cordes with us from Arlington Orthopedics. All right, here we go. We want to try to get somebody to make this shot. It's our weekly Arlington Orthopedics halftime shootout. They got to make an NBA three-pointer. And we have some very special guests out here tonight, Charlie. Go ahead and set this up.
Well, we have Miss Linda Kamak shooting on behalf of Arlington Orthopedics. Let's give her a hand, fans.
It's your shot. Bob Cousy. All right, this for a $50 gift card. We're going to mention these are parents of past and present Harrisburg High cheerleaders and basketball players. Who's up next?
Okay, representing Select Medical Physical Therapy is Johnny Johnson.
Good form.
Okay, we have no choice but to get closer on the next one. Representing Penn National Insurance is Gina Johnson. Let's give it up for Gina.
Right there. She's debating where she can shoot.
Well, Gina wants to move in a little bit. I don't blame her. Let's move her in.
Maybe. Yes! Standing ovation. First one this year.
That is.
Woo! All right, we're still going. Great shot. Next.
Okay, that is the first one all year. Great job, Gina. Now, representing Huffman Ford is Sister Courtney Cook.
Maybe. Oh.
Okay. Okay, on behalf of Pizza Hut is Kenneth Pop Tatum.
All right, one more.
Okay, shooting on behalf of Advanced Hoops is Sherelle Jackson.
Oh.
Okay, don't feel bad for these fans that missed. They're going to eat a Pizza Hut pizza, get a Faulkner Toyota gift card, and also get a free T-shirt from Arlington Orthopedics. So give them a great hand.
And Gina Johnson, did you play basketball? Did you practice that shot at all ever before?
I played basketball for the Harrisburg Cougars.
There you go. You are our first winner this year. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Gina Johnson. All right, we're going to talk to Dr. Michael Cordes from Arlington Orthopedics. We haven't seen anybody make it all year. That was pretty impressive.
That was a great shot, let me tell you.
All right. One topic that we have discussed many times on our broadcast is concussions, and it is a big topic of concern, obviously. You've learned a lot about concussions. So every time we go out and play a game, it seems like something new comes up with a concussion.
Well, people are more aware of concussions today. The spotlight is on concussions, so obviously we're going to look more for them and we're going to see them more often.
All right, here's Charlie Fortney up close and personal with Dr. Fortis with Arlington Orthopedics.
Well, we appreciate you being on the show. Our topic today is concussions in sports. First off, help us understand what defines a true concussion.
Well, you know, they've been trying to figure that question out for the past 30 to 40 years. I kind of use a definition when I teach my residents. I tell them that a concussion basically is a disruption of the electrical impulse of the brain. That's all it is. It's a shutdown of the brain. It's temporary. It can be rather significant, or it can be a little bit more decreased in nature and cause.
How do the doctors at Arlington Orthopedic handle concussions? Is there a general philosophy that all of the doctors share?
I'm primary care sports medicine. Dr. Ackerman is an associate of mine, and he is a sports medicine orthopedics. We have a discussion with all of the residents at the hospital. There's over 20 of them that we just sit down and discuss what a concussion is, how it needs to be dealt with. The thing you have to remember about concussion, the younger the individual, the more significant the concussion, the longer it can last.
We're talking about sports, but are most of your patients non-athletes who come in for concussions?
Well, you know, you have another situation entirely, and that situation is called the industrial athlete. That's the individual that's out there doing a job for a purposeful end and getting paid to do that job, who bumps his head, who falls down, breaks a leg, who twists an ankle, et cetera, et cetera. These are the type of people that we see at Arlington. We look at not only the athlete, and we see a lot of athletes, but we also look at the individual that has a work-related injury. Right. We look at an individual that was shoveling the snow down the other day and ends up with significant back pain. We look at an individual that is in an automobile wreck who becomes injured, who also needs orthopedic consultation. So we see a tremendous number of people from very different sources of life.
Speaking of the idea of concussions in the high schools, there was a recent example with Clayton McNair at Steele High, and it was a tremendous blessing that Dr. Ackerman and the Arlington group was supporting the high school at that time. Talk about how having Dr. Ackerman there helped Clayton in that situation.
I think it was very fortunate that he was there. That could have turned out significantly worse than it did. Actually, it turned out quite well. His unconsciousness obviously was due to a formation of a significant concussion, which actually caused some bleeding into the brain itself. Dr. Ackerman being on the sidelines and doing immediate care for that individual insofar as making sure he didn't move, insofar as turning his head to the side because he was also throwing up, insofar as watching him very carefully, was essential for that young man to still be here.
Thank you for watching Up Close and Personal with Arlington Orthopedic. For the full interview with Dr. Cordes on concussions in sports, go to advancedhoops.com.
It's Charlie Fortney and Gina Johnson. What a great shot. You know, when she started to crank that up, I thought, well, it's going to be short like everything else. She played basketball for Harrisburg. Nothing but net. So congratulations. She's one of our Fulton Bank gift cards.
Oh, man, and she was so excited. I can't wait to that game Friday, February 4th. Redland at Hershey, the battle of the big guys. We got the 6'8" Banus from Hershey and Steve Zach, Mike and Gary from Redland. That's going to be a battle. Two teams with similar styles.
Here we go, second half.
You know, I talked to John Albert. Greg, I know you had a chance to meet with Coach Smallwood, but I talked to John Albert a little informally before the half, and he kind of felt like we did on the air. His team's gotten some good shots, and if they missed 8 layups from his stats. They can make a few of those. They could have a very respectable showing in this second half.
Richardson got that last hoop back down the other end, and there's Ferguson gets his first field goal.
Yeah, but you can't trade field goals if you want to get back in the game, and that's what a young team has to learn. And you got to be able to make stops on one end and then convert on the other.
And a foul on the way up.
You know, we've talked a lot about Steel High, Greg, and their young players, but I think we're overlooking a little the fact that Harrisburg, and they have some good young guys as their own. You got Stanley Lumpkins and Jarrell Patterson's in 10th grade, Lumpkins in 11th, Hashim McIntyre in 11th. You even got guys, like Chris Britton, who's started a bunch of games, playing a lot, 6'3" sophomore. This Harrisburg team is going to reload and bring back a lot of very good players.
We had Kirk Smallwood on ABC 27 News at 6 o'clock, and he said, I mentioned the fact that, as we've talked about so much, that Mid-Penn Commonwealth is so balanced, and he said, we like to think of it as the Big East of high school basketball, and it really has been a great year for Mid-Penn Commonwealth basketball.
It really has. I mean, there's a lot of parity across all the divisions between the Keystone, the Commonwealth. You know, you got East Pennsboro over there in I believe the Colonial.
And they're playing Trinity tonight.
Yep. Well, and I look for that to be a very. Now they lost to Trinity the first time around. Look for that to be a very, very competitive game tonight. East Pennsboro's playing well.
Another one of our games coming up tonight on ABC 27 News at 11. McIntyre missed. Who's got the rebound? Comes away to Max Ward.
Yeah, Max Ward providing some grit here for Steel High. Nice pass by J.C. Brandt to a streaking Anthony Ferguson. Nice catch by Anthony Ferguson.
And he's got 5.
Steel High trying to do a little more than 2-3 zone this half. They're trapping and rotating, trying to make some things happen. This is good to see. Coach Ross wants his big guys finishing on that one, but he'll settle for the foul shots, especially if Jay Sean can cash in on a few of these.
Jay Sean Richardson, a 6'7" senior.
At the line, Jay Sean Richardson.
And he'll get one more.
Roger Simmons settles.
There, as we said, is Harrisburg High coach Kirk Smallwood. And he told us at halftime, look, he wants to get his regulars into a flow here because you're coming down the stretch. You've only got a few more regular season games. You got to start peaking here as you head toward defending your Mid-Penn Conference title and then heading into the districts and states.
Yeah, it's not junior high anymore. You don't pull out the starters even though you're up by 20 in this level and that's understood. John Albert knows Coach Smallwood. They have a good relationship. And Coach Smallwood early on, first quarter, had his second team in just to just to pad the moment for when he could keep playing these guys throughout the game. And like you're saying, Greg, keep them ready. Get them ready for playoffs and keep them flowing here the entire game.
I know he had a little grimace there as they turned the ball over and capitalizing on a nice defensive board down the other end.
Well, coaches don't want their players getting bad habits, and they don't want them playing any down or any minute of basketball if it's not going to be the way that they need to play against those tougher teams in those playoff and possibly those championship games. So they're coaching for the future in these moments, not necessarily for the scoreboard.
Thomas Klee.
You know what I like about Thomas before the game, he was telling me, this young man just seems very mature, more than just an athlete. Taken half of his courses at Penn State Harrisburg and the other half at Steele High. So as a senior, he's already taken college credits. Just a great testament for Steele High.
Wants to be a sports management major.
Yeah, I told him he could come over and volunteer for us.
Sure.
Teach him a little bit. I think he wants a few bucks, though. All kids do, right?
Well, of course. Earn a little money here in the off season. Please got 4. A reminder, we've got some more games coming up here on ABC 27. You can check out advancedhoops.com and again click on the TV icon, the ABC 27 icon, and we have the scheduled games. We have the Mid-Penn Championships and then some of the district championships from Giant Center in Hershey.
And those are going to be exciting, especially on March 5th. We do the triple A girls and the quad A boys doubleheader. Greg, we'll need to fasten our seatbelt for that one because that's going to be some. We can't predict who's going to be in it, but we can have a feeling that it's going to be some very good ball clubs.
AdvancedHoops.com with AAU teams, spring 5-on-5. Charlie and Gerald help you shoot and dribble and summer camps. 657-2620 and AdvancedHoops.com. Chisholm. Well, I like the way J.C. Brand plays. I mean, he's not the biggest guy in there as Richardson jams at home, but he's been quick. Richardson has been the star in terms of flashing it tonight. A couple of 3 jams.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe 3 or 4. I tell you, he makes that look pretty easy, doesn't it? That's like dunking on a Nerf hoop or something, you know. It's like a basket on your doorway or whatever. Not much effort at all.
And he had the block down the other end, but don't get called for the foul. He is just confident and quick.
Well, he doesn't have a lot of weight on him, so it makes it easier to jump up there. You know, he's all athlete.
At the line is 15, Roderick.
And I like the way, as you said, the officials are just letting these guys play. I mean, it's almost like we're playing a little bit on the playground. Controlled playground, I think we could call this.
You know, and for as lopsided as this game has been on the scoreboard, it's 41-19. But you know, if you look at it this way, you know, Steele High makes a couple baskets, gets a couple stops. Also, you cut this to, you know, maybe 10 to 12 points could make a game of this. But again, you can't make them on one end and not stop Harrisburg on the other. But I am happy with the way they came out. They're coming out, they're pressing, they're getting after it, and they're making things happen.
And there's that big presence. That's Richardson's 15th point of the game.
Well, and you know, we got to talk about player of the game soon, and he may be it because there is no answer for the big guy. Steele High just does not have a post. They just do not have a guy over 6'2", 6'3", and on the court right now, nobody over 6'1" in the lineup. So he's definitely their most valuable asset. We'll see if he's going to be the most valuable player.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's done a number of things so well, has Jay Sean Richardson, and went over to talk to Kirk Smallwood and have a quick seat on the bench. Played defense. I think he's had 4 jams tonight.
Yeah, I'm losing track of those, but they've been fun to watch, Greg.
I've marked them down for replay later on ABC 27 News.
And Greg, come to think of it, did you get any of my jams on the clip you're going to show in a little bit?
I'm trying to recall. You know, no, I did cover you. I'm trying to remember when I called a Charlie Fortney jam.
Well, there weren't many.
Were there some?
There was one in the Williamsport playoff game at Pottsville. That was pretty exciting for me because I think it was only the second time I had dunked in high school. It wasn't that I couldn't. I just always had the philosophy that I'd rather lay it in than take a chance and miss. And
Right.
I kind of wish I would have dunked more now that. Because now you see it's a way of life in basketball.
Sure.
Now, back then, the coaches were like, "You better not miss that, or you're going to be pulled out of the game." Nowadays the coaches are like, "Hey, do that so we can actually get some more fans at the game."
Right.
Fouls on Trent Chisholm, his first.
So Cougars trigger in, up 23. Nice one pass. Quick play to McIntyre. He's got 13.
Right, J.C. Brand, Greg, I know you said something positive, but he has a tremendous crossover. Jeez, he knows how to. Nice roll there, nice shot. Again, a freshman, Broderick Simmons settles. We're seeing freshman after freshman for Steel High. It looks like a bright future for the Rollers here, Greg.
Down low, nice pass. Unselfish play, Armando Gomez. That's his first two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different guys for Harrisburg have scored.
And Gomez, 6'3" junior, another one of those players that Steel High can reload with. And there's another basket.
Ferguson, he's got 7. Gomez.
Just no answer for any size that Harrisburg has. Gomez isn't as tall, but he's wide. He's got some arms on him.
So he goes 6'3", but you look at these guys. I mean, there's on this team, on the floor right now, they're on the bench right now. Fitzpatrick's 5'11", but he plays taller than that. It's only 2 guys below 6 foot. Their starting line of 6'7", 6'2", 6'2", 6'4". And some substitutions for both teams. John Albert, first year. Steel High guy.
Yeah, John's a good guy. I mean, the board made a careful selection on this one, and they knew that they needed to get someone in there that could help groom this young group in all the facets, and they picked John, and I think it was a good choice. John's been around. He has Steel High roots, and he loves the tradition, and he's willing to put in the time.
It's picked by Kyle Cook. They're playing unselfish. And he carried it.
Give Steel High credit for putting on some pressure here. Here goes Steel High with the freshman Christopher Rosman in the game. Pretty good JV game, very competitive.
Minute and a half left here in the third quarter. All right, let's take a look at some footage back in the 80s. Let's take a look at this. This is a game. It's Steel High against Carlisle. That's Billy Owens jamming, but take a look at number 25. Boy, the fans were going crazy. Watch the form of number 25, my broadcast partner, Charlie Fortney, with the jumper. Now, you're playing Carlisle at the Herd's Gym right here. Here's Billy with a nice dish. But I want to watch one more time. You kids at home, watch the style of Advanced Hoops director Charlie Fortney. Take a look at those shorts, by the way.
Oh, my God.
Look at Charlie Fortney with a jumper. Yes. Number 25. I called many of your baskets on Channel 27 over the years, and there I found that. And the advantage of being here for 32 years, as I have been, is that I know where every piece of footage is, and there you are.
Well, you know what? As I'm sitting here, I'm just amazed at what I just saw watching Billy Owens. I mean, 6'9", playing with high school kids. It just reminded me how tough that was playing against him. Jeez.
He was phenomenal. I'm going to tell you a quick story because when John Repitz was doing weekend sports with us, and of course he still does stuff with us, he and I did a series. And one year we played Jeff Lebo 2-on-1. And of course Jeff's hitting these shots from the outside. And then, I guess it was a couple years later, I guess when Billy was a senior, so this would have been 3 years later.
Probably took the entire station.
We played Billy, and Jeff was tough. Billy was unbelievable. I mean, he'd go by you, and you couldn't even see it. Now, of course, Repitz and I are very slow, but still, I was stunned and could not believe it how quick Billy was and how he would just motor past us. And, of course, he went on the great career at Syracuse and then the NBA.
Steel High scrapping right now. There's Victor Brubacher coming in the game and finishing for Steel High. He's got a nice strong body on him. Getting back to that real quick before we finish up is, having played with Billy Owens in junior high, we played on all-star teams together. He was 5'11", Greg, in 8th grade, 6'3" in 9th grade, 6'5" as a sophomore, 6'7" as a junior, and 6'9" as a senior. Every year brought 2 to 3 inches for Billy Owens.
There's Andrew Thompson's first points. So we'll talk more about that rivalry and some of those days with Carlisle High School and the Steel High Rollers in Harrisburg. Some of the great days of high school basketball. 54-26, Cougars with an impressive effort here as we go to the fourth quarter. You're watching high school basketball live on ABC 27, presented by Arlington Orthopedics.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
All-state freshman Malia Tate DeFreitas tore her ACL in a heated state playoff, and her dreams seemed shattered.
Tried to come back in and it wasn't working out. I thought that my basketball career was over.
Getting an assist from the doctors at Arlington Orthopedic, Malia is ready to attack the hoop this season.
It feels good when I jump and cut and stuff. It feels normal, and the brace really helps me.
To go from tears to a smile, it's just a beautiful thing.
A reminder that there's great programs at Advanced Hoops, AAU teams, Spring 5-on-5. You can shoot with that number 25 we just saw. If you think that form was good, wait until you see him in his older years. Charlie Fortney can help your kids shooting. Gerald with dribbling. Summer camps, 657-2620. AdvancedHoops.com. Remind them that you saw that clip of the Advanced Hoops director.
Yeah, Greg, but I will tell you, the shot's not better now than it was then. It's falling short right now, brother. But that's okay. People understand. You get older, right?
and you have better shorts too.
Yeah, they're baggier.
There's 9 points for J.C. Brandt.
I tell you what, as we're talking about player of the game, you got to talk about Ja'Shawn Richardson for Harrisburg, his size dominance. But J.C. Brandt is everywhere. He's limping up the court right now because he's working so hard defensively and offensively, and he has 9 points for Steel High, which in this low-scoring game for them is pretty significant. He's 1/4 of their offense. Actually, more than that. Yeah.
Outside, Rexroth missed. Check that. Wright Wilson missed. Flip my lineup around. And again, you can vote for your Hoffman Ford Player of the Game. Go to AdvancedHoops.com, click on the TV icon, and there's a form to fill out. And we'd like your opinion.
We also, Greg, I'd like to talk about Butch Huffman. Okay,
great basketball player.
Yeah, Steel High. If he's sitting on the couch right now, we're going to get him off the couch right now. If he's at home, because Butch is a Steel High guy. Not only is he supporting the show, sponsoring this, but a lot of people don't know this is he's the points per game leader at Penn State. He averaged 22, I believe, points per game in a single season at Penn State main campus. and I don't care when it was. That's a lot of points
Yes.
per game, and that's still I believe the highest points per game average in Penn State.
Well, the Nittany Lions have come up with a couple of upsets of top 25 teams, and I think make a little bit of a run. They might have a shot in the tournament if they can put together a couple of Big Ten tournament wins and impress the committee.
Well, they'll impress the committee if they keep playing well against the top teams, especially when you're recovering from a bad start.
Rollers got the rebound. Brant.
You know, Greg, I just thought of this. Gerald Jarman, one of our top trainers, is sitting next to us helping the stats tonight. He played at the University of Richmond and led the biggest win in NCAA history against Billy Owens' Syracuse team. Gerald was the starting point guard that year as a freshman when they upset Syracuse, and that is now tied with 3 other 15 seeds that beat 2 seeds. And that was at that time considered the best upset. And Gerald sitting next to you, give him an elbow there for that. Jeez.
Well, I should, because does Gerald know where I went to school? I went to Syracuse. Used to do the basketball games there back in the days of Roy Danforth and Jim Boeheim. Yep.
Wow.
Now I wasn't there when you were there, but I remember that because I continue to be a Syracuse fan. The Richmond Spiders.
Well, they still play that on ESPN Classics once a year.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and just in case people that know Gerald that watch it, he has hair in that particular video. He doesn't have the bald head look going. He has hair, just so you know.
All right, I'm going to watch for that then. I'm gonna watch for that.
I hope our camera guy gets a shot at the table so we can get a shot of Gerald sitting over here with us so people can have a point of reference when they watch those ESPN Classics.
There you go.
Now this guy on the line here right now, Chris Britton, a lot of potential. Coaches at Harrisburg are high on this young man. 6'3".
Here he is. Wave.
There he
you
is.
go.
Wave, Gerald.
There you
There he is. Over there with Dr. Cordis next to him. But yeah, Chris Britton, a nice sophomore talent, good body, 6'3", even has some wing-like potential.
Scrapping, and it'll go to Steel High. Off the jump. 56-28. Approaching 5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Charlie and I'll be back on Friday night from Hershey High School, Redland and Hershey, 7:30 right here.
Wow, Greg, I'm excited about that because Hershey is a great place for a game. And last year, we had one of our best games on the top high school rivalry and format last year between Redland and Hershey. That decided a tie for the actual Keystone Division last year. What a battle that was in overtime. Very controversial finish. We'll never forget it. So if we're in for something like that, it's going to be, it's going to be a fasten your seatbelt type game.
Simmons Settles has 6. Cougars trying to capitalize down the other end as Britton went up, was blocked.
Steel High keeps battling here. And so does the young Harrisburg players. Coach Smallwood allowing his bench to get a lot of opportunity here. But Steel High team just keeps battling. Coach Albert is seeing every possession as a learning and a building experience. In fact, Coach Albert was a part of the coaching staff when I played at Steel High. When we actually, my first year on varsity, picked to finish last, we ended up finishing third in the division between the number 1 and number 2 team in the state, Harrisburg and Carlisle. But he was a part of that staff that helped that. And he knows how to build a team, and he's going to do it here at Steel High.
Pace has slowed down a little bit in the second half after some real racehorse basketball. We played that first half in less than an hour. Nice running one-hander, won't fall for Patterson.
Well, Greg, that'll give a little more time at the end to watch my little infomercial. I like
Exactly.
showing that.
Well, you can learn more about the Advanced Hoops program if you saw some of our promotional announcements here earlier, and you can pick out some of the things you might be interested in Advanced Hoops, and we'll do that right after the game is over. Also have our pick our player of the game, and we'll be interviewing, likely obviously at this point, Coach Kirk Smallwood, and our player of the game, who we will pick shortly from our end. I've got mine already.
You know, I think it's worth noting here, Alfonso Dawson, who's a senior at the University of Delaware, played at Harrisburg High School. I've had a privilege to work with Coach Smallwood with Dawson on his jump shot in high school, but he has scored over 1,300 points at Delaware. He is the all-time leading scorer in the history of Harrisburg High School, which is saying something for all the talent that's come out of here. But he is doing the same thing at college. So hats off to a Harrisburg graduate alumni.
I look at the Harrisburg High Athletic Administration. Kirk as not only the basketball coach but the athletic director, and look at the number of Division I kids, Division II, Division III kids that they've turned out. Great students. This program has been just terrific over the years, and these gorgeous facilities. Now, we were looking out back tonight, of course, at the football stadium, which is just beautiful in the snow. Some kids were out there playing touch football in the snow. But this school has been wonderful to deal with, and they've been a great source of community pride here over the years with winning state championships in basketball and some of the great parades. I remember standing outside and Miss Kimber leading these kids in a parade, and it was moving as they went downtown when they won the state championships. And I also look over, I should point out over on our right, which is pretty neat, they have the three guys who have gone to the Super Bowl who played here at Harrisburg High. The late, great Kevin Mitchell, Hank Poteet, and Tim Brown, who was an offensive lineman for the Steelers.
Well, Kevin Mitchell, a Pro Bowler in the NFL, and I had the privilege of playing against Kevin. He was on that team that we competed against for the Mid-Penn Championship.
Yep.
Fortunately, Steel High won that one. But he was hard to deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 6'3", chiseled.
Tough, just tough.
Chiseled. I mean, I didn't want to even go inside around him. That's why I stayed outside to shoot the jump shots.
Yeah, I remember him just as much with basketball as I did with football in high school. Rolls in and out from Mike Brown. Almost there for the rebound. Cougars control 3 minutes left.
What's funny, it's interesting, I should say, is Coach Albert talked before the game. He says, Charlie, he said, I'm putting these kids on this team. Over half my team is being exposed to competition and playing a level of varsity basketball that most kids get a chance to apprentice. They under other seniors, or they get a chance to ease into it. But these kids have been thrown to the fire, and it's definitely going to pay dividends in the end. So the Rollers faithful, especially a lot of them at home watching this on DVR, because they're over there watching Malia score 1,000. They are going to see the benefit in 2 years, Greg, at the Giant Center. I'm predicting it. 2 years at the Giant Center, this team is going to resurrect, and we're going to see the fruit of all the hard work here.
Mind if you're watching and you'd like somebody to watch the game on replay, you'll be able to see it not only on advancedhoops.com, but we're happy to announce, thanks to the folks at Comcast, this will be available on demand, probably within about 24 hours of the game. So you'll go to Get Local and then Sports. We have this game on demand as well.
I'll tell you what, the buzz around high school basketball live, Greg, and 27 News has done a tremendous job of making it a focal point, and just the amount of people watching the games is just growing and growing. And you can tell by the player of the game vote. So, and speaking of that, I'm going to go on a limb and say that Ja'Shawn Richardson was a difference maker in this game for Harrisburg as player of the game. What are your thoughts for
Absolutely. that? Yeah, no question. Not at both ends of the court, and not only being unselfish, but also with some certainly the plays in terms of shots and what a nice whirling move right there by Damian Rexroth.
Wow, another player that Smallwood's going to have back and have a chance to actually, well, he's one of his seniors, getting an opportunity here tonight.
100 minute left, fourth quarter.
And for Steel High, I'm going to go with J.C. Brandt for the hustle defensively. Double figures here. We're close to it, I believe. What's he got there? Nine points. He leads Steel High with 9 points. So J.C. Brandt will be for Steel High, and then Ja'Shawn Richardson will be the Huffman Ford player of the game. But you know what, Greg? The fans at home, sitting on that chair, have been disagreeing with us, and they can go to their They can go to advancedhoops.com and they can vote for whoever they want and prove us wrong, and I encourage them to do that. In fact, last game, the East Pennsboro-McDevitt game was the highest amount of votes online. Maybe the fans at home this time can beat that.
Please stay off the playing surface.
We're talking to Kirk Smallwood, Jay Sean Richardson. We'll be looking up to Mr. Richardson. Way up.
Tell you what, a lot of people don't realize, you know, I used to play against Kirk Smallwood when I was a young kid at the YMCA, and he had a pretty good three-point shot. He didn't miss too often. I know he told me not too long ago his playing days are over, but I said, man, Kirk, you used to cash in on those threes when we used to play against each other. I used to get beat up by those YMCA faithfuls at lunchtime, but I guess that's what helped me in my career.
Always good to play against tough competition. That's what the Rollers have done tonight.
Chris Rosman with the rebound and gets fouled. Another freshman out there on the court for Steel High.
Fouls on Dominic Lewis is third. Chris Rosman is on the line.
So Harrisburg coming up Monday night. We'll take on Central Dauphin. Monday is a huge night of sports in Central Pennsylvania. A lot of great basketball games. And we have the American Hockey League All-Star game out in Hershey as well. So big night of sports coming up on Monday. Final seconds. Cougars perhaps looking for one more. At the buzzer it falls for Rex Roth. And it will be a 30-point victory for the Cougars. 65-35 our final. We'll talk with Kirk Smallwood, Jay Sean Richardson, Charlie, and I'll be back. You're watching High School Basketball Live on ABC 27.
Hey, Chad.
My personal congratulations to Advanced Hoops alumni Allison Daly of St. Francis University and Alfonso Dawson of Delaware University. Daly and Dawson are Select Medical Student Spotlight, making history, scoring 1,000 points for their college career.
Hank and Jim of Weaver Financial Services have been serving families and businesses in central Pennsylvania for the past 40 years. Life insurance, financial services, and products, call Hank or Jim. They're the nicest guys around. Borman & Babb Certified Public Accountants is a full-service accounting, tax, and consulting firm with over 17 years' experience serving the central Pennsylvania region. From taxes to payroll, from corporate accounting to business consulting, let Borman & Babb help you achieve your financial success.
We
make car buying simple by knocking down all the hurdles we can. We do what you expect, what's logical, or just plain right. For instance, the live market-driven prices we offer up front are the same everywhere you may choose to shop. Our prices are the same on the internet, by phone, or in the showroom. That's how it should be.
Experience car buying made simple at Bobby Ray Hall on the Carlisle Pike, Mechanicsburg.
Displays and Graphics, 5700 Lingelstown Road in Harrisburg, your one-stop shop, offering full-color banners, indoor and outdoor signage, banner stands, trade show displays, and plaques. Visit displaysandgraphicsinc.com. Exceeding expectations is our goal.
Harrisburg High a 65-35 winner with Coach Kirk Smallwood and Jay Sean Richardson. Kirk, were you able to accomplish what you wanted? Because in a game like this, a lot of times, obviously, the score is a little lopsided. Were you pleased with the overall effort tonight?
Yeah, I think our frontliners, Jay Sean and Sheen McIntyre, got a good workout. And then it kind of opened it up for some of our younger sophomores to play. And I kind of thought that the young kids played pretty well tonight.
And a chance for you to work a lot of guys into the game, clear your bench somewhat. And it seemed like a good controlled effort as everybody kind of got in.
Absolutely. And again, it's the seniors who set the stage. You know, the leaders, Jay Sean and Sheen McIntyre and Jalen Fitzpatrick usually, but he's not here tonight. They set the tone and they allowed, they gave us an opportunity to put some younger kids in the game for extended minutes.
Jay Sean, you had some great points there tonight, a couple of jams. Talk about how well your team has been playing and what you like about the way you guys have been playing here in the last few weeks.
I like the way my team is playing because once we lost to Chambersburg for the second time this year, Coach Smallwood sat us down after practice and had us a talk. He gave us a talk, let us know how good we really are and how good we really can be. And ever since then, I think everybody on the team's on the same path. So I think we can finish it out in a good season.
This seems like a very unselfish team. Had some great passes at times. You got some turnovers down the other end, but you guys have acted very unselfish. Talk about mentally the way you guys have gelled a little bit.
There's nobody on the team that's very selfish, so we all know what the other person can do. So there's no reason to be selfish. Give him the ball, let that person show what he got to offer. And the team, we just play together. That's how you get better and build as a team. You play as one.
All right, Kirk, we talked about at 6 o'clock the Big East of high school basketball. That's what we got in Mid-Penn Commonwealth, and you got a big battle for first place coming up here Monday night against Central Dauphin. Talk about what's ahead now.
Well, it should be a treat for all Mid-Penn Commonwealth fans. They have a nice big kid in the middle who does an excellent job. Coach Croger's a friend of mine. He does a good job coaching this kid. So, we're going to go out there and take a couple swings at it and see what happens.
All right, Kirk, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, and J. Sean Richardson, congratulations. Charlie, and back, final word after this.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
All-state freshman Malia Tate DeFreitas tore her ACL in a heated state playoff, and her dreams seemed shattered.
Tried to come back in and it wasn't working out. I thought that my basketball career was over.
Getting an assist from the doctors at Arlington Orthopedic, Malia is ready to attack the hoop this season.
It feels good when I jump and cut and stuff. It feels normal, and the brace really helps me.
To go from tears to a smile, it's just a beautiful thing.
Harrisburg High, a 65-35 winner over Steele High. Greg Mason again with Charlie Fortney. Well, an impressive effort by Harrisburg High tonight. I really like the way they play very unselfishly, and now they got a big game coming up, as we said, Monday night against Central Dauphin.
Well, they looked very good, and they didn't stop putting the foot on the gas. Coach Smallwood is definitely preparing this team for playoffs, and it's going to be a battle against CD. CD naturally has some very strong inside game with Devin Thomas and Schnars and Zaid Issa, but Harrisburg has the 10 to 12 guys that they can keep throwing at you. So it's going to be a battle of styles, but it's going to be a very, very good game.
And we talked about the Steele High roller team, very young team. They had a lot of shots, they had a lot of opportunities, and every time they step on the floor now, it's a great learning experience for a team like, and I agree with you, it's going to be a very, very good team as they get older.
Absolutely, there's potential here. And the Roller faithful can be encouraged that this team will be around in a year or two to make some noise. But there's just a lot of positives from having not only freshmen but sophomores and juniors just getting this experience. These kids are stepping up to the challenge, and they were a lot of missed layups tonight. This could have been a little bit of a closer game, but again, it's a building block for the young Rollers.
All right, we'll take a look at our next game coming up next Friday night. Redland and Hershey, same time, same channel. That is going to be a good one.
Absolutely. I mean, how many times do you watch a high school game and see 3 Division I big guys, and it's just going to be a great experience. These two teams played against each other last year, and these big guys have played against each other all year in AAU and even in the first time around. Redland wants a little vengeance here, but Hershey wants to try to end on a good note as well. So it's going to be an exciting matchup, and we're going to have it on TV.
All right, that's our next game coming up here on ABC 27.3 next Friday at 7:30. Thanks, as always, to our crew from Invictus Sports, our director, Chad Edwards, and everybody involved here. Thanks to Kirk Smallwood and everybody at Harrisburg High for making us feel welcome, as always. Now, for Charlie Fortney, Greg May, so long from Harrisburg High. Once again, our final score, Harrisburg 65, Steele High 35. Now stay tuned for a special presentation from Advanced Hoops. Good night from Harrisburg.
I got the power. front to back in this thing called rap. Singing like a shovel rhyme devil on a heavenly level. Bake the bass, turn up the treble. Radical mind day and night all the time. 714, wise, divine. Maniac, brainiac, winning the game. I'm the lyrical Jesse J. And you don't want that.
AAU spring basketball with advanced hoops. 21 teams last year, featuring the top boys basketball players from all over the region. Advanced Hoops AAU features 10 to 11 player rosters, guarantees playing time, all man-to-man style play, and every player gets professional skill training, along with top quality AAU tournaments. Advanced Hoops has helped over 25 high school athletes get scholarships over the last 2 years. Amazing results. I call this AAU with the follow-through.
When you do miking, it's the same as a regular shot. The ball rolls off those two fingers. Some of you are twist spinning, and look what happens when it hits the bank board. It doesn't go in. So you got to be square shoulders, square your body, and then quickly shuffle your feet, square back up, keep alternating, square back up. That's the miking drill. George Mikan designed it that way. Let's go. These are called X-outs and one dribble drives. You do them at camp every day. Keep that ball in the left hand on the left side. Push the ball out, explode up. And take your time going to the right elbow, turn, pick the ball up, explode, jump up, okay? Get to the left elbow, left hand, explode, jump up. It's important not to jump at the bat or at the wall, but get low and jump up. Good. Full speed, push it out, jab. Good. Jab into that shooting position. We're gonna go right, but as soon as you jab into the shooting position, freeze the guy left, long step, 2 dribbles, jump up, okay? 1 dribble's okay. Some of you guards, you're gonna be in traffic, so keeping it out in front 2 dribbles allows you to change directions easier. We're going left. Same thing. Spin it out. Catch. Face. Now that we're going left, we freeze right. Rake through. Push it out. 2 dribbles. Layup. Okay? Now, if you go to the basket and the defender's here. Come here, Keith. If you swipe the ball under your knees like this and step through, he never has a chance to steal the basketball because he's got to go in between you to get the ball. Ready? Go. Play defense. See? Now you can cut back in front for the layup.
Charlie's Advanced Hoops program has really helped me with my guard-oriented skills and made me more recruitable by colleges.
I'm Taylor Groff. I'll be a senior next year at Lampeter Strasburg High School. For me, Advanced Hoops has been a great thing over the years. I've been with Charlie since I was in 9th grade. The advantages of it are I've had a chance to come if I ever have a problem with my shot, and he'll always have good words of wisdom and help me fix my shot and get it back on track. Also, it's been a great opportunity to play against different competition since Lampeter's pretty far away from here. And also, Charlie's also had great advice always on college things. If I ever have a question, I can always call him up or come visit him, and he always has great advice on how to handle different recruiting problems and things like that.
My son is, he's a senior at Stilton High Spire, has been working with Charlie and advanced training for 3 years or so. With Charlie's help, Ryan has become a better ball player, offensively and defensively. The things that he can do, Charlie has enhanced, and the things that he didn't do well, Charlie has made sure that he's aware of it and does a better job at getting better.
My experiences as a Division I college basketball player and even my time in the professional and semi-professional ranks has allowed me to train players to reach their potential. I always tell the guys there's no limit to where I can take them as long as they're willing to put the time in. It doesn't matter that you practice for 3 or 4 hours. It's more important that you practice for an hour or an hour and a half on things that will make your game better. It's important to work on weaknesses until they become strengths.
AAU spring basketball with Advanced Hoops. 21 teams last year, featuring the top boys basketball players from all over the region. Advanced Hoops AAU features 10 to 11 player rosters, guarantees playing time, all man-to-man style play, and every player gets professional skill training along with top quality AAU tournaments. Advanced Hoops has helped over 25 high school athletes get scholarships over the last 2 years. Amazing results. I call this AAU with the follow-through.
We would like to welcome you to Advanced Hoops.
daughter's first time through. It's actually her second camp, but I've coached for 25 years, seen a lot of individual camps, team camps, clinics, things like that. This is the best that I've seen. The staff is very positive, very flexible in scheduling, things like that, and we've seen a lot of real individual improvement over the last summer just being a part of this.
AAU spring basketball with advanced hoops. 21 teams last year, featuring the top boys basketball players from all over the region. Advanced Hoops AAU features 10 to 11 player rosters, guarantees playing time, all man-to-man style play, and every player gets professional skill training along with top quality AAU tournaments. Advanced Hoops has helped over 25 high school athletes get scholarships over the last 2 years. Amazing results. I call this AAU with the follow-through.